This new generation of men want you to chase them so bad. Now, I'm a firm believer that this new wave of spicy sororters comes from the generation that believed in raising your daughters and enabling your sons. What is happening with this new wave of just awakening, we are realizing, like, yeah, yo dingaling don't really mean that much.
Oh, Mr. Tyrone. I just got good freaky for you because you love the hoes.
I don't care if they don't like me. I came here to stunt. I don't care if they don't.
What's good, everybody? If you're a first time viewer of my content or this video, make sure you like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. This woman that we're about to watch here, this is a woman that back in the past, she did a video talking about Saucy Santana when he was talking about how basically certain men basically teach women how to be women. And she basically went on him and stuff like that, and I go on beautifully, and I have a beautiful breakdown concerning the basis of that video, so I will have that linked at the very end of this video. So she comes back up again, and she made this video concerning the basis of this new generation of men. I really don't know this language, these ideologies these days, considered the basis of new generation of men, modern day women, all this other type of stuff. Like, nothing has changed in the scope or the mindset of humanity. The only difference is what we have today, and that's technology. But without further ado, we're going to watch this video, and we're going to have another beautiful breakdown concerning the basis of something that she has to say. So let's get into it.
This new generation of men want you to chase them so bad. Now, I'm a firm believer that this new wave of spicy sororters comes from the generation that believed in raising your daughters and enabling your sons. Because a lot of these men were so used to being praised for doing should be doing, or they're so used to somebody not holding them accountable, now they feel like, okay, you go get you a little charger, a little apartment, you think a bitch is supposed to chase after you because you think you're doing something special. You're 36! But this is exactly why you will praise a single father but bash a single mother. You'll praise a man for he's a bachelor when he got his own car and crib. Meanwhile, I got a car, crib, and degree. You still gonna ask me where my man at. Girl! I think what is happening with this new wave of just awakening, we are realizing, like, yeah, yo dingaling don't really mean that much. Okay, you are a human like anybody else. Come up off that pedestal that I know the patriarchy likes to prop you up on. You don't get gold stars for taking care of your kids. You don't get gold stars for having a car and a crib. You don't get gold stars for going to work. You should. Many of us have been doing this since we were 15 and 16. Because these men were so used to being enabled, the girls who were raised, who y'all been checking for us since we came out the coochie, watching our every move, not even giving us the grace to be children. Yeah, we not going for that. So tighten up.
I personally feel like that this was all over the place. Respectfully, shout out to Miss J. But I feel like this was all over the place. I see it with the leather jacket, you know. She part of the mild ones. For those who know that reference, shout out to y'all. I feel like she was all over the place because in the beginning she was talking about a new generation of men, but then in the middle of it, she's talking about men who are in their middle, like mid 30s, and then at the end she talks about men who grew up enabled, which almost sounds like, you know, you're using like a handicap type of term, but like men who were basically enabled and babied versus the women who've been raised. Men in the comments also agree. One woman, you know, she agreed, talking about, I'm not chasing anyone, period. And then another man responded saying, good, because they probably would call the cops. Now that was wrong. You ain't had to tell her that. You ain't had to tell her all that. But I mean, if you look at her, I mean, god dang. I mean, another fella, you know, he said that all those points are just oversimplifications, generalizations, half-truths, and strawmans. The man responded saying, facts, there's so much wrong with what she said, it's sad. And man responded saying, bless your heart. Another man said, none but threes are agreeing in the comments. Now I'm looking at these comments, right? you look in these comments and you look at the women who are agreeing with what she is saying. What's the word that Kevin Samuels used?
That's average.
Average at best. She started off wrong because she said this new generation of men want women to chase them so bad. Now, I'm not one to agree or disagree or to even make the argument like who you talking to, who you talking about, all this type of stuff, because I know it's not talking about me. But if I was to really make an assumption on what she's talking about and who she's talking about, she's generally talking about this day and age of men around our generation, right? So concerning the basis of what we're talking about here, what exactly are we talking about? Like this one fella said, real men pursue women. We don't want to be chased. We don't chase. It's either you want us or not. We're not playing games, basically, right? And when you hear this dialogue and this explanation that she's bringing, it's like she's talking about a certain set of men who want a pat on the back because they're getting themselves together, they're maturing, all this other type of stuff. And yet, now she got this feminist mindset of men being upheld or put on a pedestal, on a throne, which never been the case at all whatsoever. But, it's this mindset, like this ego that some of these women have when it concerns the basis of men. It's like there's a switcheroonie now where they want men to be at their feet, right? As if women were at the feet of men to start with, which never has ever been the case. But she's making this narrative that women who got their stuff together, who were raised, right? Now we got this superiority type of deal here. She's saying that the women who were raised, when it concerns the basis of this, that basically men have to come better now, And if you really hear the breakdown of her explanation, she talks about how like a man can be a single parent and somehow this new generation of men will praise him. But then when it comes to a single mother, men will shame them, which never has ever been the case. As a matter of fact, if we're just dealing with black men are more likely to date or marry or to become stepfathers to single black mothers. So I don't know where she's getting that statistic at. When you see on social media where, typically we'll be like, we're less likely to date or to pursue a woman who has a child. That's not to shame the woman, right? Or what you see the case with Kevin Samuels, but you have to also understand the dating options that somebody who has a child has. I think people misplace shame with critical judgment, and I see a lot of women on social media misplace the two. When it comes to holding themselves accountable, when it comes to criticism, constructive criticism, they mistaken that for judgment or condemnation or shame. But really, it's just a reality check. She goes on further talking about how like a man can get himself together and he'll be seen as a cool dude, but a woman can get herself together and yet they're looking for her man. I don't think that's the case at all. I think the case is that you have women, like I was saying before, they have this ego about themselves where they feel like that men should be at their feet, where they're expecting a man to take care of them automatically on the spot. That they're expecting to be chased instead of a man actually pursuing them. That's what I got from this video. Near the ending of what she said concerning the basis of like not having the grace to be children, not having the grace to just be women, all this other type of stuff.
You don't get gold stars for going to work. You should. Many of us have been doing it since we were 15 and 16. Because these men were so used to being enabled, the girls who were raised, who y'all been checking for us since we came out the coochie, watching our every move, not even giving us the grace to be children, yeah, we not going for that shit. So tighten up.
The patriarchy. I just think there's some unsettling. There's something like traumatic here. I don't know what she's getting at with that statement and with that perception. From my perspective, she's generalizing a set of men. You know, I mean, like going to the point of calling these specific set of men spicy. You know, and like some men, and even in the comments, have confessed like it's gotten to a point with certain women, like this ego, to the point like you can't even hit up at women on the streets out and about, right? You can't even holler at them or respectfully want to try and get to know them because they give off this masculine energy, like they want to be left alone. It's not always the case with women, but you have some women out there who give off this energy, like they want to be left alone, like the world has just done them a disservice, you know, and then they go cry in bed. Where are the real men at? Why haven't any men really looked out for me? I mean, just take a look in the mirror. How do you treat men when they come up to you and tell you, how was your day? Not just like, let me get your number, let me take you out. Just, hi, how was your day? How are you doing? Do you give them a smile? You know, is your body language showing that you want to have the conversation, that you actually admire that somebody asked you such a question? How many people like really come up to you and ask you, how was your day? Not just trying to give you these short flirtatious, you know, compliments just to try and get in your panties, you know. But some women will just literally their whole body language, as soon as a man enters into their presence, oh, he just want to do this. Oh, he just want to do that. He just trying to get something from me, girl. You know, all this type of stuff. I've seen it happen. I've had women tell me about certain like interactions with men, and I'm like, why did you say that to him? Why did you treat him this way? Why did you treat him that way? You know, the man came to you, was respectful. Man dresses well. The man does well for himself, and you cast him off for the dude that can't even hit your lineup when you want him to. Some women, they lead with their emotions instead of with their brains. Some women, they lead with their emotions and how they feel rather than what they know to be true. You know that R. Kelly, my mind is telling me no, but my body is telling me yes. That's what's going on with a lot of y'all. Y'all having this war between your emotions and your brain. What you know and how you feel. And you got to go with more of what you know than what you feel. We ain't even talking about intuition. Because that's out of whack too. Because some women, they feel like, oh, they know a bad man when they see one. Well, why do you keep messing with them? It's beyond me. But share your thoughts concerning the Home Matters at Hand in the comment section below respectfully. Let me know how you feel concerning the basis of what this woman had to say. Make sure you like, share, subscribe respectfully. And before you go, check out these other videos.
Long as I got good black women in the squad.